Hi, I'm Michael Lynch. Welcome to the Relationship Capital Podcast, brought to you by Winners Have Goals, a community for entrepreneurs who collaborate, not compete. You can learn more about us at winnershavegoals.com, including our newest feature, Business Book Breakthroughs. Relationship capital is an underrated and extremely important asset for entrepreneurs. In Winners Have Goals, our relationships have one key theme. How can we grow together? And when we apply that theme, it allows us to help each other achieve our audacious goals and expand our freedoms to core principles in the group. Today, my guest is Linda Hunt, founder of Some Solutions and the author of the upcoming book, The Money Conversation: Speak the Truth, Set the Standard, Get Paid Without Apology. With a background in corporate and as an early pioneer of remote accounting services, Linda brings decades of financial and operational expertise, paired with a deep understanding of how structure, clarity, and nervous system capacity shape sustainable business success. Linda, that's a great intro. Thank you for joining us. Why don't we start out with just expanding on, tell us a little bit about your business, and also I want you to talk about a term you've shared with me, energetic and financial capital.
Well, Michael, thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm thrilled to be here and talking with your audience. So I talk a lot about with my community and my audience, energetic and financial capital. So financial capital is obvious, right? It's money, it's your pricing, it's your systems, it's the tangible things in your business. And energetic capital is the invisible side. It's your time, your focus, your nervous system, and how you lead. And when I say your nervous system, I'm gonna go back to a story. I'll share a little bit. When I first started my business, as you said in my bio, I was in corporate. I was a corporate dropout, becoming an entrepreneur, and I leapt first, no plan. And I quickly realized all of those structures that existed in corporate did not exist in my little business at the time. And I would state a rate of what I was going to charge, and I was charging by the hour. And I just found that the pit of my stomach, I would have butterflies in my stomach. My voice would wobble. So I had to learn to figure out what my limiting beliefs were. I had to create a structure for myself in order to appear confident, right? So that's how I started, without knowing it, regulating my nervous system and then kind of understanding that there's two kinds of capital that everyone deals with in their business, energetic and, well, I deal with the financial side, through the accounting services.
Yeah, one thing I want to share at this point, Linda, is it's kind of funny how Linda and I actually met each other. My estimate is somewhere in like the 15 to 17 year ago range when I was in my sales career, and Linda became a customer of mine. And then we conveniently connected on LinkedIn and then went into witness protection, for a period of many years. So then Linda reappears, leading obviously to this podcast. And then she has me review we'll get into her book, but she has me review some content of hers. And I'm looking at it going, oh my Lord, this is like the comment I made to Linda is I said, you made me aware of what I'm vulnerable of in my business as an entrepreneur. And you've made me aware of things I haven't even thought about being vulnerable. And I say that in a positive way because this is what relationship capital is all about. It's how can I benefit from Linda's worldview and expertise? How can she benefit from mine? And then expanding that out into the world. One of the questions that we talk about in Winners Have Goals is we always like to get up to date on, so what's happened in the last 90 days in your business? And it's kind of a lead in also to knowing that one of the things that you've been working on is your new book. So tell us about the last, we like to measure 90-day gains so we know where you're trying to go with your
Sure.
business.
Okay. So let's see. The last 90 days have really been about consolidation and clarity. So I've refined my entire business ecosystem from pricing to programs, to everything that now flows into a core framework. So I have two sides to my business. I have the accounting services side to the business, which still exists and we still service customers. And that runs pretty efficiently and pretty well. And I've taken a lot of what I've learned, right? This energetic and financial capital, and I'm now working with entrepreneurs after coming out of the witness protection program, as you said. I'm now working with entrepreneurs in this, I'm going to call it the money conversation path, because that is the title of the book. And really helping people create those containers. So you said I highlighted some vulnerabilities for you when you read the book. Hopefully, I also provided containers that will help strengthen those vulnerabilities, because without those containers, how are we supposed to strengthen those muscles, right? We all have them. We all and we can push through them and ignore them for a bit of time, but they will eventually catch up to you. So why not recognize what they are, create a container to strengthen it? It's just like going to the gym, right? It's just a little exercise to do that. So that's been the focus for the past 90 days, to kind of just create some clarity and get that core framework going so that we can help more service providers. And one big win for that has been the perfect pricing formula, which has helped so many service providers find calm and confidence in their pricing. And I've just recently turned that into a free training and a companion workbook, and it's the feedback's been pretty good so far. So I'm very excited about that. And yes, my big one is the book, The Money Conversation, which actually is launching in early spring of next year. It may not quite be spring. I think it's going to come out in March. And it is the culmination of everything that I've taught, not just how to talk about money, but also how to do it with coherence, boundaries, and self-trust. So it's not just a book about pricing, it's about how to stay regulated when money's in the conversation.
If I can interject, Linda allowed me to see an excerpt of the book, and to go back to what she had said a few minutes ago. Yeah, it wasn't strictly about vulnerabilities. It was also taking it and connecting it to ideas to remove the vulnerability. But my first reaction to Linda with this great book was, you need to be an honest entrepreneur to say, hey, Linda, yeah, that is an area that I have struggled with. We don't tend to, entrepreneurs generally don't call each other up and say, hey, can you help me price things? Or
Right.
that people tend to egotistically want to do it on their own. And that's what was so nice about this guide was, first of all, I read a lot of material from entrepreneurs. I'd never read anything in this particular category. So it's wonderful. Tell me, in your perfect world,
Mhm.
Linda, who generally must read the book when it's available?
Right. So this book is targeted towards service providers, right? Service for all types of service providers, whether you're a creative, a professional organizer. I even work with clients who they have service, but it's through, say, like a restaurant, right? Like a tea house. Um, this pricing book can really help everyone. It is more targeted towards the service provider, but I'm helped because I was in the accounting services business. I've helped hundreds of bookkeepers with their pricing and the business behind bookkeeping, right? You'd be surprised at how many service providers just struggle with separating their services from who they are from their services, right? And one of the key points of this book is our services provide a transformation. That is not, while we are the facilitator of that, that is not our worth, right? So I teach people how to price for the transformation, the result that's being delivered, because that's what people are buying. They're not buying your time, they're buying your results, the result. So
So as your book, you've obviously been successful for a long time. This book now is a new level
mhm.
of expertise and evolution for you. Once the book is released, I know you had made a mention a few minutes ago about the perfect pricing program, a free offering that you have. But how does Linda's role, once the book is out, evolve? What do you want to be spending as much of your time as possible on once you have revealed this
Oh,
to all
that's
of
a
us?
great question. I am feeling called to, speak, write, and teach, right? So I'm looking to do that in a variety of ways. This is part of my expansion into 2026 is uh, doing being guests on podcasts. So again, thank you for having me here. We also have created a series of workshops that we are launching a little bit ahead of the book. So we're starting with the perfect pricing formula training. And then that goes into, so that's a free class, but then we're going to offer the aligned pricing reset, which is how to create value-based packages and break that time for money loop. Okay, so that is a paid course, and I'm making these bite-sized chunks where people can go there. Like you said, people don't call up other entrepreneurs to find out how to do your pricing. They kind of go, "Well, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And then they go back into their cave and they price themselves. I'm providing real tools and I'm making this an easy yes. And then in early Q1 of 2026, and I don't know exactly the name of the program, but I am actually going to be teaching. I want to help service providers understand this is how you price, this is how you talk about it, and this is how you set up your service delivery to support that pricing. It all goes together because the rhythm of how you deliver your services, it's intertwined into your pricing and the value of that transformation. And as service providers, we always want to deliver high quality. So I'll share a quick story if it's okay. So
Sure.
my wonderful graphic designer, who I've been working with for probably 15, 20 years, we just started having our meeting and she had a quick, I could tell she was struggling with something. I said, Amy, what's going on? And she says, I just have way too many meetings and I don't have enough time to be creative. And literally, we just talked about it for a few minutes. I said to her, when are you most creative? And we made a few tweaks to her schedule. And what resulted from that is she honored her delivery rhythm and she made more money. She made more money. That's simple. It's the tweaks are that simple. Um, and as long as you honor them as an energetic boundary, they will support you.
What's interesting about the Relationship Capital podcast, and Linda and I know each other and we've talked about this, but she also just shared some things that walk right into the theme of what the podcast is about. And that is, I was smiling, pseudo laughing when she talked about we go back into our cave.
Mhm.
That's an honest, sincere remark that we're all vulnerable to. And it's a lot of times the worst thing that we can do and then she transitions into talking about her good friend, the graphic designer, who's now part of Linda's relationship capital to work with to do the things that Linda's writing books. Linda has a vision for how to spread the theme of money conversation. Somebody else needs to do the design work. And then her reaction to freeing up time. At the beginning, I said, this is all about helping entrepreneurs achieve audacious goals while expanding their freedoms. And oftentimes, it's freedom of time. is the first one that people want. So,
Right.
so thank you. Again, Linda, reiterate book title and when you anticipate roughly, if you don't have a set date, when
Yeah.
people can get it.
So the book title, I'm probably going to get the subtitle wrong, believe it or not. It's The Money Conversation, Set the Standard. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the subtitle. It's okay.
Do I have to set the speak the truth, set the standard? Here's my favorite part: get paid without
Without
apology. That's the
apology.
part
I
I
know
love.
that part. Yeah. It is targeted to come out early March we probably will have a pre-order starting February. Um, and I can be found at sumsolutions.com. That's SUMSOLUTIONS.com. And I have one final comment. Time is not a replenishable asset. Money is. So I just want people to kind of take that away because that is probably something we all know, but we don't really embody.
It's a great point, and for people who get to know me and more about what I do, how we then choose to being sensitive to time is one thing, and then how we can use it to our advantage in terms of what we focus on with it. That's really where the growth and the transformation happens. So, well, Linda, thank you. It's been a treat. Wish you well. Thank you for really being expert in a topic that, again, honest entrepreneurs will say, thank you, Linda, for going down this road. So.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you, Michael. And I love the idea of relational capital. It hits home.
In closing, this podcast is available to any entrepreneur who embraces the relationship capital mindset and desire to grow together with peers. One last thing before I go, I had referenced earlier, we've just commenced business book breakthroughs starting next Tuesday, the 18th of November. This is where peers come together online to review a dynamically wonderful business book. This one is called Who Not How, and we apply the teachings together. Go to winnershavegoals.com, click BBB at the top of the page for business book breakthroughs. We'd love to have you join us. Thank you.